Jesus was passing through Jericho, a hymn about Zacchaeus. And the text is by Gaunt, and it's taken from this book, Delight That Never Dies, Hymn Texts 1997 to 2003. The text by Gaunt. The author's own note explains that this is a song for all-age worship, designed, of course, not to be used in isolation, but as a supplement to the reading or telling of the whole story. It is entirely suitable for this purpose, and indeed reinforces the axiom that what is learnt as a child should never have to be unlearnt as an adult. Written to be sung, it would equally well be read aloud as a passage of prose. Let's try it. Jesus was passing through Jericho. The street was crowded with people, so little Zacchaeus couldn't get through. Eager to see him, what could he do? There are other texts about this subject. Many of us will be familiar with the traditional children's song, Zacchaeus was a very little man, and a very little man was he. That song has associated actions of climbing, looking, and walking. And the rhyming of tree with tea makes it fun to sing. But Gaunt's song takes us beyond tea time and reminds us that the story is relevant for all of us. God's child forgiven, a life made new. This is the story of me and you. Yes, me and you. Gaunt, a former executive president of our society, is both poet and pastor, and his corpus of writing is a testament to his sensitive command of language and his understanding of the needs of worshippers. He is rightly regarded as one of the leading writers of recent times. To quote from Professor Richard Watson's foreword to this book, Delight That Never Dies. During the last 30 or more years, Gaunt's hymns have become well known and much loved by those who value serious hymnody. To those for whom contemporary worship is, in part, a difficult, anxious wrestling with the problems of everyday life, they are an expression of a Christian spirituality which meets this age and confronts it. They are trying to understand and come to terms with it, carrying into the 21st century both hope and faith. Alan's song, Jesus Was Passing Through Jericho, invites us with hope and faith to invite Jesus to stay at our house, for like Zacchaeus, we too can be a host to Jesus. The tune, Jericho Song, was in fact written by me for this very text. And finally, a prayer. This is a prayer commending those like Zacchaeus who followed God's call. And the words are the first verse of a hymn by our member and friend, Marjorie Dobson. The Bible is full of adventures of faith, of people who followed God's call, from Abraham and Moses to Peter and John, from Samuel and David to Paul. Whatever I do, you can do, God said. Wherever I go, you can follow. Power will be given for your work today if you trust in me for tomorrow. Amen.